Hello, and welcome back to another week's episode of the 2002 reimagining of the Twilight Zone. This week, we are watching Hunted. And you can immediately tell that this takes place in the future because these hikers have plastic on their shoulders. It's a very short-handed way to sort of tell people what is going on and where. And then we have this sort of Sam Raimi-like pan in or camera moving through the underbrush stuff. Reminded me a lot about sort of Evil Dead 2. We have a very, very brief animation of a matte painting of a futuristic city, which looks cool. And then, as another sort of shorthand for the future, we hear a futuristic door. We don't get to see it, we only get to hear it in the background. It's a subtle way of telling it that this is the future. Now he's sitting there, there's a baby, his wife is there, and he's obviously preparing to go somewhere. And he's like sitting there loading a weapon with a baby in the room. And I was like, are you sure that's where you want to do that? It seems very unsafe. And then they head off into the wilderness to fight this creature, that's what they call it. They don't carry a lot of supplies. They don't have any tents or anything like that. They have only like a small bag. There is a bigger bag later on that just sort of appears, but we haven't seen it in any of the opening shots. And they carry, not all of them, but some of them carry a sort of minigun, which is weird. So it has, I think it's 6 little barrels. And when they get attacked during the night, you get this wonderful shot of one of the soldiers literally shooting in every direction. And it reminded me of Predator, where Billy says they were shooting in all directions. Because he's just running out in the forest, just shooting up into the trees, because he has no idea what he's shooting at anyway. Then there is a spear that gets chucked into a tree, and it looks like that. And that is a lovely piece of CGI. It's very safe to do it that way, of course, and since it's blocked off by the trunk of the tree, you don't get any clipping of a mask or anything like that. It just looks very clean. I like it. It still has some opaque lines, so when you want to cut an element into a shot like this, you do it and you mask out the contours around it. And if you do this on a green screen, you sometimes get a bit of bleed, and either you soften the edge, which could make it somewhat translucent. You see that a lot in the old Star Wars, for instance. Or you make the line very sharp, but then you get a sort of black outline around it. And this spear has a bit of that because of the way they cut it into the shot. But it's nice. Someone cuts off his hand. It's very lovely. Well done. The hands are sitting there and just like stuff coming out of the wrist. It's great. It's a great little effect. Now, they call these things creatures, which I figured was, a play on creature. But no, it's a creator. And brings to mind the 1999 movie, The Matrix, where Agent Smith says something to the effect of that this was the height of your civilization, because I say your civilization because the moment that we started thinking for you, it became our civilization, didn't it? It's the same here. They took over. So it's not the human civilization anymore. The hand gets replaced. There's even a little scar, which was weird. Why would there be a scar? But okay, fine. But I think the twist ending here, where they actually know that they are mechanical, is refreshing. Because most of the time when you have these sorts of stories, it's like, I'm not a machine, you're a machine. And then you have this sort of back and forth. But they already knew that they were machines. They just never brought it up in conversation. So just unplug the baby and let's go to sleep. I don't know why they need to sleep. But I thought that was refreshing. Now, I feel that the grind is getting to me, and I'm hoping that next week will let me feel a bit more motivated. And I look forward to seeing you then. Take care now. Bye.